Hello to everyone, I hope that you are doing well. In this video we're gonna talk about the preparation. You know, my favorite words, preparation is the key to success, but how important is to have the right preparation or the correct preparation, because you can prepare yourself wrong and then everything is going to be wrong. So if you have nothing to do, grab your favorite drink and stay with me. Welcome back, guys. In fact, I haven't got any plans to make this video, and it's supposed to be the first Monday for more than 6 years without any videos. But the things that happened in the last 2-3 days brought me to an idea that I'm sure might help to many people, and that's why I decided finally to do this video, to improvise a bit and share my thoughts with you guys. And it's everything about the preparation, the key to success, and why it's so important to have the right preparation or the correct preparation, to follow the right advice or to listen the correct people, if I can say it this way. So now, before you write some negative comments with this statement, I don't want to say that I'm the only person that you have to listen. No, absolutely not. There are so many people that travel and they can give you a wonderful advice, but you have to be sure that it is the right advice for you, for the type of trip that you have planned, for the experience that you have, and everything related to this. For example, I will never take a health advice from a sick doctor. I will never discuss my body shape with a person who is fat, or I will never listen for long trips someone who never been on a long trips. So this is so obvious, but some people still never get it. I don't know why. And nowadays internet is full with everything, any kind of people who give advice, and is it right or wrong, you cannot judge until you finally start using this advice in a real travel, for example. And then it might be too late, because you're already on the trip, you already prepare your motorcycle, your luggage, you made your choice, and everything is already settled until you realize that everything was alright until it is not. So you have to be sure that you've done everything properly in advance, and the only way to know that it will work is to test it before you go, or at least speak with a person who really done it. So if you want to have a health advice, talk with a person who is really healthy, who is 70, 80, 90 years old and spent all of his life in a proper way that lead him to this situation, or her to this situation. If you want to listen to someone who is a financial guru, for example, go to a millionaire and ask the millionaires how they get there. If you want to ask someone about traveling with a motorcycle, ask people who travel with motorcycles. Once again, I am not saying that you have to listen only me. There are thousands of people that travel, but ask the correct people. So if you ask a person who's been on a few trips around Alps with GS 1200 or KTM 1290 or Yamaha Super Tenere, he is going to tell you that this is the best motorcycle for that purpose. And you need hard panniers, you need top box, you need a lot of stuff. But will it be correct? Yes, if you plan to go to the Alps, it will be fantastic. But what about if you plan to go to different areas? Some dirt tracks, TET roads, or whatever you plan. Maybe out of Europe, Turkey, Asia, India, Vietnam, Cambodia, countries like that. What are you gonna do with this heavy motorcycle with hard panniers and a lot of luggage? So the advice always depends, and it should be correct advice, as I said in the beginning of this video. The examples that I'm gonna give you now are 3 different scenarios. 2 of these scenarios happened in the last 2-3 days, as I said in the beginning, and the last one happened on my trip to Magadan last year. And I'm gonna discuss with more details why it's so important to listen the correct people, or to listen the correct advice in the correct situation or in the current situation that you have at the moment. So two guys, travelers that planned a long trip more than 6 months, came to meet me yesterday here with two different motorcycles, and the decisions that they took, or the preparation that they have done, was, I can say, not really clever, and I can even say it dangerous for their trip, because they plan to cross whole Turkey, Georgia, then move to Russia, Kazakhstan, all the stands, Mongolia, all the way to Vladivostok, ship the bikes to South Korea, then ship it to America. And the preparation that they have done and the bike shows that they have was, as I said, completely wrong. That's why I decided to help them a bit, to talk about luggage, what they can ship back, because the man got like almost 50-60 kilograms of luggage, and the lady got 37 kilograms of luggage, and they are both with BMWs GS 1150 and GS 650. Very heavy, without a proper preparation of the motorcycles, some wrong decisions, like the rear tire of the GS 650 is mounted the other way around, which is very dangerous in the wet or bad road situations, and many more like this. The second example is a friend of mine who decided to buy a dirt road bike, and he bought not exactly dirt road bike but dual sport bike, and because he was listening so many people, he decided to buy Suzuki DR 650 without even understanding that this motorcycle is not for everyone, especially for him, for his physique, his age and his skills. And 2 days ago he decided to cross one really long pass over one of the mountains in Bulgaria, which was like 40 kilometers, rocks, some almost like rocky stairs, some big loose gravel, muddy sections, steep downhills, steep uphills, a lot of U-turns, and he hasn't got any off-road experience. He thought that it's going to be a good idea to have this dual sport bike, and jumped into this road, this adventure to go on this pass. Luckily everything went fine, but the example that he got, or the experience that he got, I'm sure that he will remember it until the rest of his life. And the third example will be the Russian guy that I met in deep Siberia with KLR 650 and more than 50-60 kilograms of luggage on the way to Magadan. It will be a long video, and as I said, it's going to be an improvisation from my side, so excuse my mistakes if I make it here and there. I'll try to have a minimum as possible edition, so that's why, as I said, please excuse my mistakes. Alright, the first example are the couple that travel with two motorcycles, BMW GS 1150 and BMW GS 650, all the way to the stands, Mongolia, and so on and so on. The first mistake is the motorcycle choice. BMW GS 1150 is a very well known motorcycle from many travelers around the world. It is proven actually in many trips around the world, but I cannot say that this is the correct choice for such a trip, especially for a guy who is not that tall, not that strong. He is probably around 80 kilograms. He has a flat feet on the ground, but he does not feel so comfortable with this motorcycle, especially if the roads are not good. So this is first mistake. If you're a tiny guy, if you're not tall, if you're not strong, you definitely need something much lighter. And this heavy BMW, it's not the correct choice at the moment. On the top of that, as I said, he has more than 60 kilograms of luggage on this BMW. Of course, metal panniers, very heavy panniers, frames or racks to hang these panniers, and on the top of everything he has a huge duffel bag, more than 10 kilograms of camping gear. So first mistake, wrong bike choice. Second mistake, a lot of luggage, hard panniers for a trip that will take such a I don't know, long time. And in many of these places like Central Asia, part of Mongolia, the roads are not going to be there if they exist at all. They plan to go to Tajikistan, the Vakhan Valley, which is mean that they're gonna have more than 2,000 kilometers of very bad or no roads at all. Their experience with dirt roads is almost zero, so they never really got this chance to ride it on the dirt roads. And when you accumulate all of this, you'll realize that another one stupid example. Lady without helmet and a guy who is filming them. Idiots. What they try to show, what they try to prove. Anyway, the reason I'm riding now so slowly, gently, without filtering is because now the moment I have these guys behind me. They are not from here, they are not familiar with the traffic, I don't know what is their experience, and I prefer to ride normally, so I don't want to put them in an extra stress that they don't need it right now. The lady got this GS 650, which is not that heavy, and of course I don't know what is her experience, but again, a lot of luggage. At least she has soft bags, but 37 kilograms of luggage. So yesterday we discussed a lot of things, and they decided that they will probably ship some of the things back home, because it's obvious that they are very heavy, especially the camping gear. Because I told them that they might never need this camping gear, especially around Central Asia, Mongolia and stuff like that. And there is no reason to carry this extra 10 kilograms for thousands of kilometers if you never plan to do it. And then they said, yeah, but when we go to the States, the hotels will be expensive. And I said, okay, when you go to the States, you can buy a tent and it will cost you less than to bring it to the whole journey, 20,000 kilometers, without using it. So this is the example that everyone somehow forget or miss when they make their plans. And I really hope that they will listen to me and will at least try to minimize the damages that are already done. So now, for example, we'll go to my friend and mechanic Plamen's garage at least to check their motorcycles. And another one reason, because they brought a chain and sprockets for the GS 650. They actually ship it to my address here and got a plans to carry a set of chain and sprockets all the way, so they can use the chain and sprockets that they have on the GS until it's finished, and they can change it, because they said it will last probably another 5 or 6,000 kilometers. I said, man, you don't need to carry this extra 6 or 7 kilograms for so many kilometers and wait for this chain to finish, and then you have to find the right or correct people to replace it for you. They cannot do it on the street because they don't have the tools and the skills to do it. And I convinced them to go to my mechanic Plamen and change the chain and sprockets today. Also check, make a proper check on their motorcycles, because when I saw how the rear tire is mounted, I asked them, who checked your motorcycles before the trip? And they said that they've got someone who checked it and stuff like that. And I asked, was this guy a motorcycle mechanic? Oh, he's mechanic but not motorcycle mechanic. I said, man, what are you talking about? The motorcycle needs to be checked from a proper motorcycle mechanic, because this is a motorcycle, this is not a car. A car mechanic cannot check your motorcycle for the road that you plan to take. It's again like to take advice from a sick doctor. So now, with the proper check, with the chain change and stuff like that, I hope that we'll have at least some kind of improvement or correction, if we have to do at least. Back to the GS choice. Once they reached Uzbekistan, especially around the big towns like Samarkand, Bukhara, and Khiva, and many more different places, they will hit a lot of traffic. And with this traffic on 40 plus degrees with this air-cooled GS 1150, they might have a problem. And I know that here now many people will say, yeah, it's okay, it's never overheats. It's never overheats in Europe, but on 40 plus degrees in the traffic you definitely need to turn it off here and there, otherwise you will overheat this engine. The idea to film the whole video outside was good, but it started raining, so I had to come and film the rest of the video here in the garage. Anyway, the second example was this guy who bought the DR650 with the idea to ride it off-road. Even though when he decided to buy it, at least 5 people, me included, told him that this is not a motorcycle for everyone. It might be a fantastic option for some people, but it is definitely not for everyone. Yeah, but it has 260mm suspension travel. Alright, but you are 110 kilograms, and when you sit on it, it is already 120 left. Also, it is not that easy, especially for a person who never been off the road. It is 150-60 kilograms, much lighter than my Tenere, for example. But when you don't have any experience off-road, this is already very heavy. So he never listened to anyone, and the advices that he got from a person who liked this type of motorcycles and who traveled with this type of motorcycles was absolutely wrong. And on that day when we went into the mountain to cross this mountain pass, he struggled a lot. And this was his first experience off-road with the motorcycle that is heavier than 100 kilograms. And the whole journey was not exactly disaster, but he was so exhausted at the end. And the result was that he will probably never try to do something similar again. So this is a result of a bad advice given from someone who liked this model and think that this is the best option to go off-road. And the third example that I would like to give you was from a Russian guy who I met in Siberia with this very heavy KLR 650. He watched a lot of videos, and in all of these videos, mostly Russian videos, they recommend to have a lot of stuff, to have camping gear, to have everything that you need, include a rubber boat. He brought with him a rubber boat to travel around Siberia and crossing rivers with it. So this is like a ridiculous advice. Yes, there are people like Anatoly Chernyavsky who travel with a boat, but he's very experienced traveler. And he's done it many times with very light motorcycle, 250cc Honda. But to have this KLR, which is like 180-90 kilograms, loaded with 60 kilograms of luggage, include rubber boat, was a terrible advice. That's why, guys, it's very important to find the right people and listen to the right people that got a personal experience with everything that they telling you. Once again, with this, I'm not saying that you have to listen or watch my channel only. No, absolutely not. But every time when someone giving you advice, please pay attention on everything he said. That he has a personal experience with it. What is his point? Has he ever been in this place? Or many more questions like that. And then you will know, you will see actually the truth through his words. And actually, I have many more examples like this, but I think that these 3 were enough just to show you that you have to be very selective with the information that you can find online. That's it. As I said, it's going to be improvisation. By the way, a friend of mine is a distributor of Enduristan bags here in Bulgaria, and she gave me this tank bag 2 days ago. Sandstorm 4S is the model. I'm gonna make a detailed video review about it, but first, of course, I'm gonna test it for 2-3 weeks with all of my camera gear and everything. That's why I brought my camera gear now to see will it fit inside. I'm gonna test it in a real here travel conditions here and there, and then after maybe 2-3 weeks I'm gonna do a detailed video about it. Anyway, that was everything. See you in the next video. Ciao.